What about the fires? Have you noticed about it? Like, has there been some rabbit holes you've gone down with the LA fire?
Well, the LA, so the Palisades fire specifically was now it's very much proven with facts that it originated from another fire that started 10 days earlier. I don't know if you've heard about this. There's another fire that started on New Year's Day. They said it was like fireworks. Somebody was there, and there was like a smoldering. So the firefighters had come and technically put it out, but the residents there, and I've talked to a couple residents there, they're saying, no, there was still like smoke emanating from the brushes. And then 7 or 8 days later, that's when the big fire came in with the wind, and it like whipped everything back up.
That's the same thing that happened in Maui. A fire was put out. The police stayed there all night with it. Thought it was out. They waited there all night until like 4 a.m. or something, and then they went home. They said there's nothing left. In the morning, the winds kicked up, and then that's when it got to another level. Anyway, go on.
And Gavin Newsom was saying stuff like, "Oh, we couldn't have done that because of vegetation." There's like some environmental reason why they couldn't go back in. It was like kind of bullshit. So now the state's getting sued because they're culpable for it. And they even said, this is like a couple weeks after the fire had started, the deputy fire chief said, there's no way this big fire was started from the other fire because we put that fire was dead out. And now it's not dead out. Spencer Pratt has been really big on this in terms, he's running for mayor of LA, and he's all over this.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. So who says the small fire caused the big fire and who says it didn't? So what do we know what really happened?
Yeah, we know there's now evidence that definitely came from the first fire. So now the state is getting sued by, I can't remember I don't know who.
Because what did they do?
Well, what they did was it was negligent because they didn't follow the procedures to put out the fire.
Got it.
Because they knew that there was still smoldering. I think there's records of this, but they couldn't go in for vegetative reasons or whatever it is. And so now they're in trouble because now the damage that's been caused to the entire Palisades community. Yeah, see, there it is.
1 year ago, just after midnight on New Year's Eve, a small brush fire broke out in Topanga State Park above the Pacific Palisades outside Los Angeles. Within hours, the Los Angeles Fire Department arrived on scene and began digging hand lines to stop its spread. The 8-acre fire, ignited by a 29-year-old former Palisades resident who has since been charged with arson, was quickly brought under control. By 4:46 a.m., the department declared it fully contained with no further updates anticipated. But the fire was never fully extinguished. A week later, on January 7th, it reignited and burned more than 23,000 acres, destroyed 6,800 structures, and killed 12 people in what became LA's worst urban wildfire catastrophe. And I'm guessing that was the Palisades fire? Or
That's the Palisades. That's the Palisades. There's another big fire, the Eaton Fire, which is in Altadena. And that one was caused by PG&E because one of the power lines fell down. Yeah. And so they're getting sued right now for that.
Wow. But can a fire smolder for that long?
I've been told, yes, it could smolder for a number of days, even weeks. It's because it's really dry there. There hadn't been rain for a long time. I even looked, there was like literally NASA satellite imagery of like, you could see like the hot spot. Like, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like smoking from my understanding. It could be like under the earth, it could be like hot.
Right.
And then any kind of wind condition, you could like, I don't know how it really works from a scientific perspective, but it's like starting a fire. It's like starting a fire in a campsite. Like you can, under the right conditions, the fire will start. So I think the issue here in terms of the liability is that the fire department is supposed to go back in and check it to make sure that it has been put out.
Got it.
And because they didn't do that, the liability is now on them in terms of the damage. I mean, there's billions of dollars of damage now, which is contradictory to what they said, which is like the fire is dead out. We did our job.
What were they saying was the original cause of the fire?
Well, they said it was just like an act of God. It was like, there's no way to stop this because it was so crazy, the wind and
Poseidon or whatever.
Yeah.
Zeus did it.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what Spencer Pratt's been going on about. He's like, this is not like just some crazy thing. It could have been easily preventable if you guys had done your job.
Well, what was the issue with the fundraising? Were they giving the
the fundraising? So there's actually, I think they're getting sued as well now because that was like from like 6 or 8 months ago when I was doing that video. But what happened there was like they collected a bunch of money from this like concert, right? This like benefit concert. And they're supposed to go to the fire victims. But then when you partner with the nonprofits, a lot of that money first just gets absorbed by the nonprofit for like administrative things.
Yeah, holiday parties, shit like that or whatever.
Exactly. And then from what I understand, like I've talked to a few residents, like we didn't see any of the money. Like how do we get this? And then there's people or organizations that can sign up to get that money distributed to them. And there would be other companies like diaper companies or whatever it is, like services.
Diaper companies?
So like, for example, these companies would come in and say, well, we can help distribute diapers to residents that have lost their homes. But then now that creates another bureaucratic step for if you've lost your home, like you just want a check, like just give me some money so I can like survive. I don't want to go to this organization to like collect a diaper because I have a child. It just makes things like way more complicated that way.
Understand. So it's a lot of, they'll donate it to these other places, maybe a friend's charity, whatever this is.
Yes, exactly.
And the next thing you know, it's been distributed to all these different spots and there's not any actual
And then the
money.
residents, they don't know like where the spots are. And so it's a lot easier for them to say, hey, this is the deed to my house. It burned down. Can I collect my $5,000 or whatever the distribution was? It would be a lot easier to do it that way. But the people who organize this is the Ballmer Group, which owns the Clippers and the stadium in LA.
But you think they would want to then do the most human thing then if it's they're owning the Clippers, you know what I'm saying? They want the fans to come to their games.
Well, I think they thought they were doing the humane thing, but it's like, I think it's just like the corruption of the system is like, well, we have all these charities that we already work with, so let's like bring them into the fold of this. But it's not like the best solution. The best solution is just to give people the money that need the help.
Yeah.
But then now they're just enriching, the people who are their friends, like all their, partners that are doing all these nonprofits. They get a little bit of a cut as well, through this process. You just want a little cut.
Yeah. In its report, the House Judiciary Committee stated money went to left-leaning pet projects, illegal aliens, and the administrative costs related to running nonprofit organizations. This is from CBS News. You had examples of funds used for voter outreach efforts, towards political advocacy groups, towards podcasters, fungus planting. Those examples are pretty troubling. I do want to be clear, there were many organizations that got funds, nonprofits that are certainly very worthy nonprofits.
I think there was one, I was talking to Aloe Black, because he's involved, his house burned down. And he was like, I don't understand why the community college of like Pasadena is getting money for this. Like they didn't, like why do they need money?
Right.
I don't know. So it's I think it's more of like, hey, if you wanted to maximally benefit the people, you would do the right thing and you just give the money to the people. Like show a record that you own this house, right, and then come and collect your check. Versus all this bureaucratic shit where people can take it. They're just trying to. The problem with California is like there's problems that they need to solve, but they need to create the solution. Always involves like people being able to like stick their hand in the cookie jar and taking a cut here, taking a cut there. And then by the time the money goes to the people who need it, it's like a lot less of it actually is there.
There's no dessert left, really.
Yeah.
For the people that need it most. Oh, wait. Robertson is an attorney representing Palisades fire victims in a civil case against the city. He says public records obtained by the LA Times add credibility to his claim that the Lockman fire was not properly extinguished. Okay. A new report from LA Times claims the Los Angeles Fire Department tried to protect Mayor Karen Bass from reputational harm. It was smoldering right on the top of the ground, and we have numerous hikers that took video, that called 911, that still took photographs.
So they're definitely, there's so much evidence that the fire wasn't properly put out. So they're under, I mean, the state of California is getting sued because technically I think it's a state land. And I think now, it's funny. I heard Spencer talking about this. Karen Bass is like trying to join that lawsuit against Gavin Newsom. She's like trying to, she's like, whoa, I'm also been wronged in this situation as well. It was Gavin Newsom. So they're all pointing fingers at this point.
I mean, that's Malibu.
But then, okay, so I want to do the outcome of this is like many homes being burned down and then corporations coming in to buy these homes.
Yeah.
I think you could probably look up a stat like more than 50% of houses that have been purchased in LA after the fires were purchased by corporations.
In fire districts or just anywhere?
No, in the fire areas that burned down. I saw there was a headline of this for sure.
Got it.
Like the houses that have burned, I think, not of just regular homes, I think.
Let me see if
we got to fact check that.
Investors are buying close to half the empty lots in LA burn zones, report says. That's a conclusion. Researchers with the online real estate listings platform Redfin reached in a new report published Tuesday. Analyzing transactions in LA County burn zones during July, August, and September, they found that about 40% of Pacific Palisades vacant lots went to corporate buyers in both Altadena and Malibu. About 44% of such vacant lot sales went to investors. I wonder, though, is there some benefit? Maybe they're putting it into just a business or an LLC. I wonder if there's some other benefit of doing it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe there's a different, maybe it's insurable that way, and maybe regular homes. You know what I'm saying? Like I wonder if there's something else that adjusts that.
I don't think so. I mean, it seems like at the very least, you can argue the size of the investor. Are they BlackRock, or is it like some person who owns like 5 homes?
Got it.
Right. That could be something to discuss, but it's certainly not people who live there. Like if you want your home and you live there, it's not like that. It's not like for your family. It's like this guy's buying the home to like rent it out or to flip it or something like that.
Yeah.
Which isn't ideal for, home ownership. And, you want people to live in the home.